Hey guys, this is Anton, place to be. The reason why I decided to make a video about the sidechain this month is that we receive dozens of tracks on our Patreon, and oddly enough, the most common problem in them is the sidechain. So now we'll try to figure out what is it, how to use it, and I'm gonna show you how we're using the sidechain in our drum and bass tracks. Let's go. So first of all, what is sidechain? Sidechain is the method of controlling parameters of one channel by using this signal from other channel. Here is an example. As you can see on the exoscope, the drums are eaten by low-frequency bass, and the track is turned into a ugly sausage. I can hardly see where the kick is playing. Probably that one is kick. So you can hear how the low frequency affects the dynamics of the drums. In addition, there is additional distortion of the kick and the bass, which we don't need. And now we're going to fix it with a ducking effect. So what we're going to do? First option, I'm going to create a sidechain from this kick group to this bass group. I'm just holding down the shift and click to the input. Okay, sidechain is ready to use. To create a ducking effect, we need to add a virtual instrument. It can be a compressor or an equalizer or whatever you want actually. It's going to be FabFilter Pro C2. First of all, we need to choose which input the plugin will use. We're going to wrapper setting, processing. I will choose the first one input. It will be the kick. Return to the compressor settings. Click sidechain, external. Okay, the ducking effect is ready. So let's listen to the results. I will use the shortest release to make the ducking effect less noticeable. Let's do the same with the snare. Create a sidechain. And now I'm going to use ProQ3. Go to wrapper setting, processing, and then I'll choose second input, will be a snare. Click here, click sidechain. Choose the frequency you want to suppress. Don't forget to use that button. Well, now we have a little space for the drums. But as you can hear and as you can see, there is a problem with this method. It is too noticeable, and I cannot make the release shorter. In the case of the kick, I cannot make the release shorter than the signal coming from the kick channel. And in the dynamic EQ, I have no attack and release control at all. So now I'll show you the next method to avoid this kind of problems. The next method is very similar to the first one, but the trigger in this case is not the signal from the specified channel, this is the signal from the automation clip. Let's create an equalizer in the beginning of the chain. Right-click to the band, create automation clip. Go into the settings of the automation clip and type here 50. Now we can use all the space of the automation clip. Let's draw something useful. As you can see, I can draw the release of the docking effect in the clip. I can make it even shorter than the drums. Yeah, this one sounds and looks much better. The kick and snares looks good. Another advantage, when we created an auto clip, we can use it to manipulate any parameters we want. For example, we can add an equalizer, and we can link this parameter to our controller and this parameter, and we add a balance and link to controller, link to this controller, and you can use the mapping formula. You can also make a template for your project and prepare some automation clips in there. This allows you to make a sidechain really quickly. In this case, we have a couple following problems. If we're gonna use the effect in the end of the chain, most DAW will calculate the plug-in delay compensation incorrectly. And we will hear that the effect is slightly delayed, so we have to use it in the beginning of the chain of plugins. For example, I will create an equalizer in the end of the chain. Let's link to the same controller. Listen. Let's render it. You can see how it works. The PDC works incorrectly and the sound was delayed by 2 bits. That's why you should use this method in the beginning of the chain. The next problem of the sidechain is the PDC again. Let me show you. Let's render this track. As you can see, there is an annoying click at the beginning of the element, which we don't need at all, because we have our drum clicks there, which when crossing can get the phase problem. To avoid these clicks, we can also use an automation clip. We need to move it left a little bit and do this. Let's see how it looks now. There is no click anymore. Let's do the same with other automation items. You can group the automation clips with your samples by clicking Shift-G and then use it like one item. Let's listen what we got here. Another example of using sidechain. You can use it on conflicting tracks. Here's a classic conflict vocal and synth. Let's see what we can do with the sidechain. Shift click, go into hordes, and now I'm gonna use source. Wrapper setting, processing, automap. Okay, don't forget to click the sidechain button. I deliberately expose extreme values to make the effect more audible.